They cut out her eyes, but she still sees. In a quiet village, hidden between tall mountains and deep forests, there lived a girl named Liora. She was known for her kindness and her strange gift. She could see things others could not. When she looked at a person, she did not just see their face. She saw their secrets, their fears, and sometimes even their future. The villagers whispered that Liora had the sight. At first people came to her for help. A farmer would ask if the rains would come. A mother would beg to know if her sick child would live. Liora would close her eyes, and the truth would come to her like a dream. She never lied, even when the truth was harsh. But not all truths are welcome. One day the village chief's son fell from his horse and broke his leg. The chief, a proud and angry man, demanded Liora tell him who had cursed his boy. Liora hesitated, then spoke softly. No one cursed him. He was riding too fast. The horse stumbled because he whipped it too hard. The chief's face darkened. He did not want to hear that his son's pain was his own fault. He turned to the villagers and shouted, "She's a witch! She puts visions in our heads and twists the truth." Fear is a poison. It spreads fast. Soon, the same people who had begged for Liora's help now called for her punishment. "If she can see our secrets," they said, "who is to say she does not curse us with her eyes?" A cruel plan was made. On a moonless night they came for her. They dragged Liora from her small house, tied her hands, and held her down. The village healer, a man who had once thanked her for saving his daughter, did the unthinkable. With a sharp knife, he cut out her eyes. Liora did not scream. She only wept silently as the world went dark. The villagers left her in the forest, sure that without her eyes, her power would be gone. She would be no more threat. But they were wrong. Blind and bleeding, Liora crawled through the dirt. The pain was unbearable, but something inside her refused to die. The forest, which had always whispered to her, now spoke louder. The trees told her where to step. The wind guided her to water. The animals brought her food. And then she began to see again. Not with her eyes. Those were gone, but with something deeper. When a wolf approached, she saw its hunger, but also its loneliness. When a bird flew above her, she saw the storm coming long before the clouds arrived. The world was no longer shapes and colors, but a web of stories, each life connected to another. Weeks passed. Liora grew stronger. She learned to move without stumbling, to hear a lie in a person's voice, to feel the weight of their guilt. She knew she could not stay in the forest forever. The village had taken her eyes, but they had not taken the truth. One evening, she walked back to the village. The people gasped when they saw her. Her empty sockets were healed, but the scars remained. The chief laughed. "Look, the blind witch returns. What can you do now, with no eyes to curse us?" Liora smiled. "I do not need eyes to see what you have done." Then she began to speak. She told the farmer's wife about the secret meetings with the blacksmith. She told the healer that his daughter was not really his. She looked at the chief and said, "Your son will never walk again, and you will die alone, forgotten by your people." The villagers trembled. How could she know these things? Liora turned and walked away, but her words stayed behind. Slowly, the village began to crumble. The chief's son grew sicker, and no healer could cure him. The farmer's wife left him, and the healer drowned his shame in drink. The people realized too late that the curse was not in Liora's eyes. It was in their own hearts. As for Liora, she wandered far from that place. Some say she still walks the world, helping those who are lost. Others say she became part of the wind, the trees, the whispers of the earth. But one thing is certain, they took her eyes, but she still sees. And the truth, no matter how hidden, always finds a way to be known. The end.